I'm back. You're back. Hi, folks. Yeah, I'm back. I'm back right now. And I'm going to read to you. I don't know how well it's going to be. I read these little books that you see them in the bookstore someplace. So I just grab them sometimes because before I was taking a lot of buses going to school. You know, I'd park here, get on the train. And I didn't like reading the iPhone and all that stuff. I got time for that. So I would get these little books like this here. And this one here is Thomas Merton's Thoughts in Solitude. Now, it's just a condensed version of his bigger book. That's all it is. Yeah, so I read these. But I was thinking about, meditation and those type of things that we seem to be getting involved in today. Mindfulness and all this kind of actions to clear the mind and become one with yourself or something like that. Yeah, something like that. But then again, because this is Archangel, so I was thinking about the spiritual actions, and this book is actually a very spiritual type of book. So this here is on I'll read to you. It starts out like this. Spiritual life is not mental life. It is not thought alone, nor is it, of course, a life of sensation, a life of feeling. Feeling and experiencing the things of the Spirit and the things of God. This is not what spiritual life is. But this is what and it's not mental life. Mental life isn't that either. But we try to make them that. So, nor does the spiritual life exclude thoughts and feelings. It needs both. You can't be complete without the both. It's not just a life concentrated at the high point of the soul, a life from which the mind and the imagination and the body are excluded. If it were so, few people would lead it. And again, if that were the spiritual life, it would not be a life. Now, if a man is to live, he must be all alive. Body, soul, mind, heart, and spirit. Everything needs to be elevated and transformed by the actions of God in love and faith. So this is what spiritual life is. And this is what people keep trying to find in meditation and stuff. They're actually trying to find some way to feel that they have a spiritual and a mental life. But what they're doing, they're excluding all the rest. They're not really alive. They're not alive in their body, soul, and mind, heart, and spirit because it's all just focused on them. And you're not complete if you just have one focus. So the spiritual life, like I said, it's not a mental life. It's a spiritual life. But it's only part of the complete whole. It's not the complete whole. No matter how much spirituality that you possess or how much mental thought that you think you have, you're still not complete. And without that completion, from the body, from the mind, from the soul, from the heart, and all those other parts of you that make you who you are, you just still walk around in a daze. Might be a good daze, might be not so good a daze, but it's still a daze. Well, this guy's really deep, so I don't know how well this is going. So, unless to try to meditate merely by thinking, still worse to meditate by stringing words together, reviewing an army of platitudes, right? This is part of what we do in today. We're really commercialized. We go here. Go over to this place. You get it. This is where the best meditation is taking place over here, because you go in there, it's so soothing, and you can sit down and reflect and think. But you don't need to go to some place and thinking, because that's not what life is all about. That doesn't work. Unless to try to meditate merely by thinking. Still worse, by stringing words together. All those nice little mantras that people have and everything while they're sitting down, trying to erase all the thoughts that they have in the world that are causing them to have stress and everything. That doesn't work, folks. These are things that really don't work, because you're not complete. You're not complete. If you're sitting down there with your eyes closed, thinking that, I'm just going to relax and I'm not going to think about these stressful events of the day, and I know how to do that, because I'm going to say and I'm click 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 click. Yeah, you'll get pretty bored with that after a while. Will the stresses of the day go away? No. Will you find any clarity within the stresses of the day? No. You'll be thinking about click click for a little while, but the stresses of the day are going to pop back up in a bigger way. And in a much bigger way, because you didn't allow the complete you to come into view. So, when you're meditating, if you want to go to some place that really has some good meditation, and you really want to feel reflective on yourself, be yourself. You got to bring you to the game. You can't go in there and not bring you. You can't go in there and just think, or go in there and find a whole bunch of pretty words that somebody else has said and just use those words and try to paint them all over yourself. I like the one that people say all the time: work smarter, not harder. It doesn't even make sense. But everybody likes to say that, and they say that with a reflective type of thing. Yeah, that's just how I'm going to get rid of this problem that I have right now. I'm going to work smarter, not harder. What does that mean? How are you going to do this? They just added more stress to themselves, because it doesn't have any plan to it. But it sounds cool. But so I hear it a lot. I hear a lot of people using that phrase, and it's kind of funny. So when you're doing, if you're going to go in there and meditate, yes, there are some little standard procedures that everybody likes to follow and stuff. So you find a nice little. Actually, the best way I would think is watch a sunrise. We just went over that and just allow it to happen. But if you're not going to do that and you want to do something else, you can go to any place and just anywhere, a park bench, in a tree, you can do it walking down the street, and you can just relax. And what the thing is that you're trying to achieve is not getting rid of this thought of the stresses that you have. That doesn't work. And not trying to mask them over with all these different phrases that you think are going to make the situation more easier to digest. That's not going to work. You just want to reflect, and you want to relax your mind. You want to let your mind relax. If you're thinking about the stresses of the day, and that's what you focus on, walk through them. How'd that happen? And you're thinking about why that happened and stuff. But here's what's going to happen while you're doing that. If you're reflecting on, how did I burn that turkey, but at Thanksgiving, so you're thinking about that. How did I burn that turkey? Very stressful. You felt embarrassed because you burnt the turkey. So you went, I must have had the heat too high. So the next time I won't put the heat high. Yeah, it is hot outside and everything. See, other things start to come in when you say that. And this is what you want to do. You want to pick up on those things that come in while you're working on that stress, and then push those out. You see? Not push the stressful event out. You know, the stressful event is why you're looking to find some resolution and relax. But the other things that come in, even though they don't seem as though they're stressful, because they're probably not, those aren't helpful when you're trying to figure out what the answer is to the stressful problem that you're having. So when you're thinking about, I must have had the heat too high with the turkey, I should have put the thermostat in. Yeah, it's really hot in Florida and stuff like that. Maybe I'll take a vacation to Florida. Push that out. You don't need to think about a vacation to Florida if you're trying to figure out how you burnt the bird. You're trying to figure out how you burnt the bird. So you push that out, and then your focus comes back on what happened to make the turkey get burnt. Yeah. That's just an example. No matter what your stressful thing, it might not be a stressful thing like that an event that didn't go right. It might be a stressful thing on, I have a big conference tomorrow and I want to present this program that I know it's going to be great and it's really going to work. How am I going to do this? Now, what we do is we stress about it. We try to memorize our presentation to that. And that's a good thing. You try to memorize, but all you're doing now, you're adding stress to the thing, because now if you miss a small word like the or is or that or which or any of those small words, you get more stressed, because now you think, oh, they won't understand it. They don't understand it in the first place. You haven't given it to them yet. You got to give it to them before they can understand it. So you'll be focusing on that. My presentation's going to go well. I want my presentation to go well. So I think, what's my opening sentence for my presentation? Oh, yeah, I think I'll open the presentation with this sentence. And then, I think I'll go into a story. Oh, yeah, I heard this story about these 3 bears and this little blonde-headed girl. What's that got to do with anything? Nothing. So you push that out and you get back and focus on your presentation. Whatever it is, might be on space exploration and stuff, or it might be something really to that extreme on fuel consumption to get to Mars. How are we going to be able to get to Mars? How big a fuel what kind of fuel we're going to use, and how am I going to present this on the fuel consumption and everything? And my car really does eat a lot of gas. It's like these things just start coming in all the time. And like I say, you just push them out and push them out. But you can do that walking. You don't have to go sit in a place and chant click click. You don't have to do that. You don't have to know a whole bunch of body I can't even get the word out.
Contortion.
Yeah, contortions to be able to think these things out. You don't have to do that. All you have to do is just know what the focus is that you want. And it's, if you're focusing on stress, not stress alleviation by making it go away. You want to alleviate the stress by finding a reasonable way of dealing with it. Whatever it might be, it doesn't go away. You just mastered it. You became the hero of the stress. You're the boss. That's what I want to do with a little bit of these thoughts. That's why I like these thoughts. And sunrises do that for you, folks. At least for me, they're relaxing, and they let me focus on what I want to do during the day, and that's, hey, maybe I can do something good for somebody. Maybe not. It doesn't matter. It doesn't say, maybe I can go down on 5th Street and stand around on the corner, and then because that's where a lot of people need help, so I'll be down there and I can find somebody to do good. No, or all these other things that come into your mind all the time. Your mind is really a chaotic place. It's chaotic all the time. Nothing but chaos in there. And each one of those little chaotic kind of little I'm gonna call them atoms, little atoms, they want to be the most important part. So whatever you're thinking about, all these other ones are always trying to jump in there and take over and get to be heard by your mind because it's so chaotic in there. So if you don't relax it every once in a while, not by sitting there and just trying to alleviate them and stuff, then you just fill your head up with a lot of stresses and you never gain an answer. Now moving to fitness because this is what happens a lot with people who are out of shape and who are not fit. They sit down and they know they want to be fit, but it becomes a stressful event for them. They say, yeah, it's the holiday season and everything. I know I'm going to be letting myself go during the holiday season. There's cookies, cakes, all kinds of goodies to eat. There's parties that I got to attend. Way too many beers that some people might want to drink. And they fill themselves up with all this stress before they go have a good time. And then they try to say it. They try to justify it by saying, "Okay, I'm going to get in shape after this." They know they're not going to get in shape. It's just a stress that they push to the outside. Because the real stress that they put on themselves was all these cookies and cakes that they're going to eat in the present. So the future came in. Kind of stoked on in there like this here. Yeah, I'm going to be able to become physically fit later on and everything. So it'll be all right. And, they know that they're not going to. But they can if they don't allow those things to be stressful. Just allow those things to be the atoms that come in and come out and come in and come out. Yeah, does the holiday season come with a lot of cookies and creams and cakes and a lot of food? Yeah, and a lot of beers and stuff. Yeah. Do you have to partake of them? No. No, you don't. That's the stressful moment. All you got to do is just, for that stressful thing, that becomes something that you say, nah, I ain't going to have no cookies this time. Nah, I ain't going to have. Or you might say, I'll have one or two. There's no stress now. You don't have to plan to go and become somebody else that you're not later on in the future. You're not going to become Arnold Schwarzenegger on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day because you're going to go to the gym and you're going to buy a membership. And most of the people, they really buy a membership. I don't know why, but they do. The gyms aren't stupid either, Hey, we got this package. You can sign up for a year's membership. and don't worry, we'll take it right out of your pay and everything. Like, you won't even miss it. And they're absolutely correct. You won't miss it, but you won't use it either. So it's like, no, don't do that to yourself. If you want to become physically fit, start with something very, very small. Something that you want to do. And that's where you can combine meditation with something that you want to do. If you want to become physically fit, don't get on the internet and try to find all the exercises in the world. Don't go and ask somebody, how do I eat well and all these things like this. There was a study a long time ago. There was a kind of an experiment. I don't know who did it because it was a long time ago, and it was in a restaurant. What they did, right? They had this woman. She was the waitress, and she would go by, get your order, and give you advice on, try this. This is the best one. This is the one I like. I know you heard them people, the waitresses doing that in the restaurants and stuff. And what the experiment was on self-identifications and the way we identify with other people. Now, the lady was a very thin, very fit-looking lady and stuff, and she would wear her little uniform, very thin, made it all thin and very shapely and everything, and she'd come to the table and she'd take your order and she'd recommend this here and she'd recommend that there. And, some people would look at her and stuff, and most people would know what they wanted and they wouldn't take her recommendation. Now, she was very fit. And then somebody else would come in. She'd go put on a dress that was similar to the uniform that she had on, put on a heavy body uniform. She'd be not overweight, but she'd be average looking weight type of person. Go out there, take the order, make the recommendation, and those people took her recommendation. It was like 50% more took the recommendations of the same woman, except she had changed her appearance to look overweight, not heavily overweight, but a little bit overweight than what she actually was, very fit and physically fit and everything. They didn't take the recommendations from that person. They took it from this person because they can identify with that person. And it gave them justification for eating the food that they wanted to eat, because that's what they wanted to do. And then, that's what we do to ourselves. Just like with the cookies and all that stuff. If you want to eat the cookies, eat the cookies. Don't buy the year membership to the gym because you ate the cookies. If you want to go to the gym and work out and have a social interaction or whatever it's going to be in the gym and do all these things, or take up running or take up skydiving or whatever you think that's going to help you with getting rid of the cookies that you ate, you can do that, but don't do it because of the cookies. It's just like that thing there. You could eat the same at the restaurant. It didn't matter what the waitress looked like, you would think, but it actually has a very, very, very positive type of action, I would guess you would call it, on the way you're going to order your food. Because you look more like the person who was more common, out of shape kind of built than the person who was real physically fit and real buff kind of looking type of lady and stuff like that. Because you identified more with that, you were able to eat those cookies. So, yeah, I ain't got about 2 minutes, So all I want to say is have that fun out there, people. Start it out with a sunrise. Just enjoy it all with your eyes, your ears, your heart. Just let all that in there. Then go out there and let the goodness come on you, because you don't want to let the goodness fade because the sun came up. Just keep it with you and let it all go. And then if you do want to do some types of meditation and stuff like that, don't try to overthink it. It won't work. Don't try to buy it by using phrases from other people or anybody else that you think is gonna make what you're meditating sound important, and that's gonna fix the stressful problem. It won't work. And if you want to eat cookies during the holiday season, eat those cookies. They're good. You can eat those cookies. But you just gotta be in moderation, because you're still the master of you, and make you the master, not just make you the follower of one or two parts of you. Make you the master of the whole complete you, of your body, mind, spirit, heart, anything you want. It's all you. You be the master, not just something that's spiritual or something that's meditative or something, Well, this is Trooper Joe, and we're kind of having a little bit of fun because the holidays are coming. And I want everybody to have some real good experiences on the holidays, so that then when you do go to your meditation class or whatever it is, or meditate by walking or whatever the way you want to meditate, you got some good memories to fall back, some good recent memories on a holiday that you have. And so I'm Trooper Joe, and I want everybody to go and have that fun.